22nd of January 1988. It's the closing days, well, the closing years anyway, of Stampede. And this episode, it's the third or fourth one I've seen, is just as poor as the others. It's not good, folks. I mean, Gabriel Ports and who else? Karachi Vice with the Great Gamma are your main villains, with Makan Singh and Bad News Alan, who'll be going soon. And your main face, really, is Brian Pillman. Brian, as I like to say, who'll be going to WCW soon as well. So they'll lose both of them, but they are trying to create another face in the hugely muscled Strangler Steve DeSalvo. He'll be here this week, and Ed Whalen will tell us. The crowd don't quite know who to cheer for. No, because there are two heels. One you've not quite turned yet. One is who is actually a heel in that match. It doesn't quite hit correctly. Crowds seem to be liking it though, and we're straight in with the DeSalvo and Jerry Morrow fight. DeSalvo runs into Jerry Morrow knees because he's really excited to get Jerry Morrow down on the mat and smack him around a bit. Then you've got a shoulder block from DeSalvo. I mean, it's a bit meat and potatoes. Both meat and potatoes. You get both with Steve DeSalvo. Strangler Steve DeSalvo. Yeah, they've dropped that Strangler moniker a bit now, haven't they? Because they're trying to make him look like a face. Anyway, you've got a Jerry Morrow headlock, and then with tape choke augmentation. Ed Whalen, beloved commentator of Stampede Wrestling, who's having a good time, tells us that there's tape there. I couldn't see it, but it's interesting, isn't it? So tape choke augmentation, and he does it for absolutely ages. I mean, not content with sitting in there for a minute or so and getting a breather. I mean, it's 2 or 3 minutes, that. It's a long time in a match, isn't it? Then we do the arm drop spot. You get Jerry Morrow slamming and getting a splash for a 1 count only, and the fans are a bit quiet. Ed's right, they don't know who to cheer for. No, you've not done the job with Strangler DeSalvo yet, have you? And you put him in with Jerry Morrow already. Anyway, you've got Strangler DeSalvo. Let's not call him Strangler anymore. Can't call him Strangler. Must be a nice guy. Right, don't call him Strangler. Okay. All right, Strangler. I told you. Oh, yeah. Anyway, he throws Morrow off the top. Then hits a sort of pounce. It's not called that yet, of course. And then dumps him to the mat. Gets the elbow drop and a reverse torture rack. That's the torture rack over one shoulder. Over the shoulder. Over the shoulder goes one man. Yeah, and he gets an immediate... I mean, you don't just put him there. It's within a second. It really is. He gives up very quickly with Jerry Morrow. The crowd are cheering though, and there's Jim Davis in his trilby. He's the interviewer, and so sometimes he can get really cheesed off with the people he's interviewing, as can Ed Whalen, to be honest. I've not seen that before on wrestling promotions, certainly at this age. And we've got Steve DeSalvo, not Strangler, in, who wants Bad News Alan, who's not there this week. So it's alright to say that, isn't it? Because he's not there, you see. And he wants Alan next week, now or forever. What do you mean? What do you mean you want him now or forever? I mean, I don't really think you continue to fight him when you're in your 80s. But, I mean, I think he might want to go to the WWF. Strangler. So, sorry, Steve. I want him next week, now or forever. I don't think you chose the right word there. That's all I'll say. You had several words, lots of words. The English language has an awful lot of words. The vocabulary is large, and you chose that one. Anyway, it's a rambling promo, a bit like my rambling reviews, and because he's so excited, he grabs Jim at the end and sort of grabs him by the lapels. Jim's a bit surprised about that. Now we've got Kerry Brown and Rip Rogers, and we saw Kerry last week, and Rip's acting as if we don't know who Kerry Brown is. Well, we saw him last week, mate. They have been champions, tag team champions, in the past. I mean, they have fought together in the past and been champions in other promotions. As Kerry tells us regarding Rip, this guy, whatever his preference may be. So we're going with that, are we? Yes, we are. There's quite a lot of discussion about how effeminate he is and all of that. And it kind of all depends which which promotion you're in. Because I've seen him in Mid-Atlantic. No. I can't remember where it was. I was looking at another promotion. He was there, and doing a programme with Exotic Asian Street. And at no point were there any discussions about effeminacy for either of them. And that's kind of their, kind of Asian Street's shtick, isn't it? But it wasn't shtick, and yet it wasn't mentioned. All depends where you are. It is mentioned here, and that's not entirely ideal. But anyway, there's going to be quite a lot of it later on, just so you know. Terry then fights Brian Pillman. You know that Terry Brown's not going to win this. There's a Pillman dropkick and a strange sideways crossbody. It kind of comes at him with the wrong angle. Looks a bit weird. Ed says that they both have fans here. It's a very extremely odd crowd, he says. But both guys are cheering, and they are. It is a bit strange, and that will be the reason for that. And it's because the management haven't done, and the bookers haven't done their work here to tell us who's who. So Pillman's not over as much as I think he is, and Kerry's not over as much as I think he is either. So there you go. Anyway, back in the ring, we've got a headlock and a fish hook from Pillman. So he can do that. He could do that, and he makes him look a bit of a heel, to be honest. He rubs Kerry Brown's eyes across the top rope. That is a heelish tactic, if you like. Big chops, sort of clothesline, crowd a bit quiet by this time. There is a nice Brown gut-wrench suplex and a worked headlock. Stu Hart is there chatting on commentary, which is nice to hear him. Lovely. Brian Pillman gets a slam, misses a splash off the top, and then Kerry Brown, it's Pillman, comes in with a kick, misses it completely, and Kerry Brown still sells it. What a pro. But you could see there was quite a lot of distance between the foot and the head. Yeah. However, Pillman sort of gets a standing moonsault, which is not called that at this time, and then Rip grabs the leg from the outside to trip him, and you would expect that would cause... He gives some knucks, by the way, some brass knucks. Ooh, brass knucks to Kerry Brown, but he doesn't get the chance to use them because there's a backslide from Pillman and a pin. I mean, we knew Pillman was going to win, but you might have wanted to do a bit more with that brass knucks, because we know that he was past them because Ed Whalen said it. He commentated on it, so you would expect that they would use it. But no, this is just the kind of... This is the hint of a promotion that's perhaps struggling a little, because you would expect that would be very simple. He would blast, or try to blast Pillman, who would get out of the way, he would hit Rip Rogers, and then Pillman would get the pin. That's the way it should go. Not just ignore the brass knucks and get a very quick backslide roll-up. It's a bit weird. No wonder the crowd are quiet. Now, this is Jason the Terrible and Chris Benoit, who's in the territory, as we know, versus Rip Rogers and Makan Singh. So they put Rip Rogers in there early, you know. Ed is bad-mouthing Jurgen Herman. They're doing something with this referee. He sets new standards for ineptitude, apparently. And throughout this match, he will be out of position. Now, there's a Benoit arm drag, and Rogers bails. Prevarication, Ed calls it that, which is good. Then we've got Rogers ping-ponging between his two opponents. He sells that extremely well. There's a malfunction at the junction, and Rogers bails with Makan Singh. Says his wrist's injured. At that point, Ed Whalen does a limp wrist joke. We don't need that, Ed. Don't need it. Please don't do it again. Makan Singh's got an object in his trunks. He won't actually use that at all. So I don't know why they're showing this, to be honest. Jason smacks Makan Singh, and then Rogers sells all of this very well. He gets in. He's a really good seller, Rip. Really is. There's a pin for Benoit, but the ref is not there. And then there's no tag. Makan Singh just gets in. I mean, the referee doesn't see the tag and doesn't do anything. There's a bear hug and a small package, again from Chris Benoit. Referee doesn't see it. Chant of "We want a ref," and I'm not surprised. They're doing a bit of an angle, aren't they, here? And then you've got a power slam from Makan Singh for 2.999 recurring. The ref is then with Jason when Benoit gets another cover. Totally incompetent, as Ed Whalen calls him. Quite totally incompetent. Great. A totally incompetent Stampede Wrestling. They don't say about that. No. But they do say about this rep, they are going to do a kind of Danny Davis type thing, aren't they? Because that's already been done in the WWF, hasn't it? They might turn him bad, I think. Anyway, we get the Boston Crab from Rip Rogers, which is called the Ripperoni, apparently. That's a terrible name, Rip. Where'd you come up with that? And he gets the pin from that, so they win. Bruce Hart's then in, saying he thinks he'll be back to fight Gamma and Ports next week. And he's got no... I mean, there's no energy with him. It's like he doesn't really want to be there. It's a bit strange. Pillman thinks that Rogers and Brown should not be in wrestling. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not sure. I think that it's all right. I think that Rogers and Brown have won a few titles here and there, and I think they do all right. I mean, Brown gave you a pretty good match earlier, didn't he, Brian? I mean, Ed doesn't say that. Well, he nearly beat you earlier on, didn't he? I don't think that Pillman would like that, but anyway, there you go. Then we don't have any more wrestling, folks. That's it. We get Jason interviewed, that's what he will do to Macan Singh. Don't ask him the questions, Ed, because all he can do is that's what he does, basically. Ed then tells I think it's Macan Singh that he won't tangle with Jason. Oh no, that's right. He talks to Rip and he says, I won't tangle with him, he's too big for me. Why don't you go and see Mr. Singh? Which is great, actually. And Singh said he'll fight him. Then Rip, I have to say, oh, by the way, Singh refers to, where's Omar? Where's Omar? Where is he? Is he by some paddy fields, some rice fields? Who's Omar? Is he some other wrestler? He means Owen. Ed Whalen has to say, when he says Omar, it means Owen. Just got the wrong name. Now that's not good, is it? Come on, Trucker Norm. He's not got the same. He's just not got the name right. Omar? Since how I go in, does it much? Now, I know there's a similar number of letters and they begin with O, but blimey. By the way, Rip, before he leaves, just says to Ed Whalen, I love your tie. That's the best thing about Stampede Wrestling this week. So you know it's not very good. And it is on the way out. It's a shame. And I'm enjoying these dying days of it because it's interesting to see why that might have happened. And losing Bad News Allen and Brian Pillman will be an enormous hammer blow for them. And you're wondering who is in the wings waiting to come up. Well, I suppose you've got Owen to come, and I suppose you've got Steve DeSalvo, don't call him Strangler, Steve DeSalvo, and that's about it. I mean, I'll be watching next week because A Plus Productions, marvellous A Plus Productions, and Steve Swiss rambling reviews enjoy doing it. But by gum, it's a bit poor. Ta-ta.